Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. After my fight collection video, I noticed that I have a slightly different view on strategy than I did before, so I'll go back to some old analysis and see if I still agree. One factor I'd like to add to strategy is martial arts. Just because two characters aren't using powers to fight doesn't mean there's no strategy. When I say no strategy, I imagine two characters mindlessly throwing punches at each other. But if characters are showing thought in their individual attacks, like a martial artist, I'll count it as martial arts strategy. Take Jackie Chan versus Ken Lo for example. I'd estimate at least half of the individual attacks have a specific purpose and only work in the context of where he and his opponent are placed. Whether it's attacks to get around the opponent's guard, trip them, grapple, or feints to confuse them, each of the attacks seems to have a well thought out purpose to lead to victory. That's not mindless fighting. I'll call this good CQC tactics and define it as an exchange where each individual attack from both combatants is logically decided based on the previous attacks. If you want good CQC tactic examples, take the start of Sasuke vs Kakashi in Volume 1. Each of Sasuke's attacks and Kakashi's counters have specific purposes, and the entire exchange couldn't work without that context and the order of the attacks. The start of Lee vs Kimimaro actually does this martial arts micro-strategy too, because it is inspired by Jackie vs Ken. Mindless battle is when characters are just swinging without any kind of underlying tactic for each attack. Additionally, I count power-ups as strategies, but I need to add a rule. It's a strategy when it solves a specific problem. If it's just an all-encompassing power level booster that puts the powered-up character above their opponent in all ways, like speed, strength, durability, and energy, I don't count that as a strategy. This is because there's no thought put into it. If I had a mode that made me better in all categories, I could use it in any situation. That makes it feel like more of an auto checkmate rather than a strategic move. Lee vs Gaara. When Lee opens the first gate in chapter 82, it's to solve a specific problem, and that's getting around Gaara's auto defense. The gate gives him the speed to do this. In 83, he also uses martial arts when he appears behind Gaara to get him to turn, then strikes him from another side. Front Lotus is also a strategy, and within using it, he has to adapt. When Lee opens the third, fourth, and fifth, it is an all-encompassing power-up, but it comes at the cost of his physical health, making it a strategy in my book. There's cost and benefit. Naruto vs Sasuke 1. Each power-up is designed to solve a specific problem. Curse Mark gives speed and improved taijutsu to outclass Naruto. QB Chakra gives speed and strength to counter the Curse Mark, which is admittedly a basic power-up. Sharingan gives predictions to avoid Naruto's attacks. One-Tail Cloak gives unpredictable speed, strength, and attacks to counter the prediction. Curse Mark Stage 2 evens the strength. It's only used for a short amount of time, so we don't know its true capabilities. I'd say that the initial QB mode and CS2 aren't good strategic power-ups. Martial arts is actually used too. In Phase 1, Sasuke isn't just faster and stronger, he shows thought in his actions, martial arts. In 219, he dodges Naruto's attack and then kicks him, and Naruto responds by using a clone chain to swing around and kick him back. In 226, Sasuke steals Naruto's kunai, uses it against him, then kicks him while he's distracted. In 227, Sasuke uses fire to get Naruto up in the air and then attacks while he can't dodge. Then he gets behind him while he's getting back up and attacks. Naruto with his Jinchuriki form uses brute force, which isn't martial arts, but Sasuke's Sharingan is. After dodging, he plants his fist where Naruto is about to be. Naruto tries to catch Sasuke off guard with a clone, but this fails. In the next phase, Naruto uses magical martial arts and strategy. When Sasuke dodges the attack, he extends a chakra arm as a counter. When Sasuke is trying to keep his distance, he stretches his arm to attack him. When Sasuke is recovering, he stretches his arm to restrain him and land a clean hit. When Sasuke uses CS2, he blocks and counters with his wing, which seems to be a strong body part, judging by how it allows for flight. Naruto vs Sasuke 2. When the characters activate their avatars, this is a strategy, though not a good one, but that's as far as it goes. They aren't doing anything to solve a specific problem. It's not like they were facing an attack that required the power or defense of an avatar, and during this phase, they just mindlessly attack each other. There is no martial arts or thinking gone into specific attacks. It ends with an iconic clash, which is something, but not much. The next phase, Sasuke uses Indra Susanoo to become better than Naruto, but it's a very power level thing, and it doesn't solve a specific problem. He just becomes faster and stronger, a basic power up. They shoot small projectiles, but there isn't enough context to make that decision reasonable. Naruto charging nature energy for the final attack was an example of strategy. Again, the phase ends with both characters deciding to clash. My problem with Ichigo fights is next. I will pick the two most popular Ichigo fights, Ulquiorra and Aizen. Ulquiorra. At the start, there is martial arts. Ichigo is actively trying to dodge and evade. He even grabs the Arrancar's arm to land a clean hit. When Ulquiorra powers up, it's because Ichigo is comfortable and the two are nearly even, so there's a good reason. The problem with the power-up is that it's just him showing his true speed, which is kinda weak. His tactic is moving too fast for Ichigo and appearing behind him. That's okay. In 342, the action becomes mindless swinging. When the hollow mask is used in 344, Ichigo just uses brute force rather than martial arts. The mask is also a basic power-up. Ulquiorra tries a Sero, which is nice. The problem with the mask is that it's just a broad stat increase. More power, more speed, more durability. It doesn't solve a specific issue in the fight and feels like it amounts to an increase in power level. Lee opening the first gate wasn't a power level increase, it was a speed increase. Gaara didn't suddenly become inferior in all areas, just slower. Same goes for the Sharingan. Sasuke didn't just get a higher power level, he just got better prediction. Naruto didn't combat this by just raising his power level, he became more unpredictable. Then Resurrection happens, which is another basic power up. This is just a power level increase and the fight dumbs down. There's no more martial arts, they just swing their weapons barbarically and fire energy blasts. In 347, it feels like a stereotypical DBZ beatdown. Ulquiorra uses stage 2, even though he's already winning. Fight-wise, this makes no sense. Using his tail is kinda martial arts, but apart from that, he just slaps Ichigo around. When the hollow arises, he fires blasts and attacks like an animal. Ulquiorra fires blasts too, but like I said in my OG video, none of the blasts are used in a strategic way. It's just shoot and make contact. Ichigo stepping on Ulquiorra's face is the closest thing to martial arts. That's the end of the fight. Now Aizen. In 418, the two just mindlessly swing at each other. Aizen tries a Hado, but it fails. Aizen levels up in 419 with a basic power-up. He does some energy attacks, but Ichigo tanks them. In 420, Ichigo uses Bugetsu. That's it. I mentioned DBZ before, so I want to briefly analyze the start of Goku vs Vegeta, and which parts I consider strategy. In 35, Vegeta starts by slapping Goku around. This is in martial arts. He knocks him back with one attack, then flies to him, then repeats the cycle. This is like what was happening in Ulquiorra's fight. Shooting a blast is a little strat, but Kaioken is definitely a strategy, because like the gates, they cause harm for a boost in power and speed. In 36, Goku starts by slapping Vegeta around, like he did, but at one point it becomes strategic. Vegeta is about to shoot, so Goku changes directions. Vegeta shoots at the moving target, but Goku evades and strikes him. That's thinking, and so is the next exchange. Goku flies at Vegeta, who is winding back, so Goku jumps over the punch and attacks from behind. This is very surface level tactics, but the next exchange of Vegeta whiffing and Goku countering with a punch is martial arts. The two getting into a beam struggle and Goku boosting his Kaioken is strategy. That's where I'll stop. As you can see, there are times when the characters are just slapping each other around, which is not martial arts, but then there are times when the characters are striking with fighting tactics in mind, which I do consider martial arts. In conclusion, CQC tactics, which is where each attack, defense, or evasion has a specific purpose and isn't just interchangeable, and strategic power-ups that aren't just net positives in all areas, are considered strategy in my grading and analysis of fights. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.